Good evening, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen. Although you've stopped sharing, so.
Yeah, so I'm going to begin the class today by introducing myself. I'm Alafia Bamiala Pupo, and I'm part of the leaders at Free Knowledge Africa. So we just go straight to the class. We'll just go straight to the class and we'll begin. Please, if you are not speaking, please mute yourself. Oh, thank you. So we'll be talking about publishing, sharing, and promoting your open educational resources. And our learning objectives today is our learning. I do not plan to share my video because of the internet. It's showing me unstable internet connection, so please just bear with me. Our learning objective today is for us to understand metadata, tagging, and file formats. Also, we should build community and peer collaboration. We should learn ways to promote our open educational resources within institutions or community. We should discover where we can all share our open educational resources. We should understand the importance of OER discoverability, and we should learn how to promote and measure the impact and reach of our open educational resources. So where are the platforms at which we can publish our open educational resources? So before we get to those platforms, I would love to discuss what hosting open educational resources are. So for individuals or for the general public to access our files need to be in a home, and the home can be like a host somewhere where you can like store your open educational resource files so others can access, reuse, and remix your open educational resource from this house, quote and unquote. So how do open educational projects reside and are delivered for use are dependent on the structure of the house. So open educational mechanisms can be divided into three categories mainly. We can talk about it in a repository format, which is a centralized site that stores the open education resources like an institutional repository, a referatory repository, which is like a portal or a directory of links to the open educational resources, and it provides the metadata to help locate these resources. So an example is just like an open textbook library. Also a combination of repository and a combination of the open institutional repository and the referatory. So institutional repositories are quite common at the academic institutions. They are used for hosting locally produced materials. Some of us are from I'm sure some of us are familiar with universities having their research papers on their portals. You can download it for free in some institutions if they are open for free. And some organization you might need to pay some library fee. So that's like an institutional repository. So an institutional repository can offer some advantages for open educational resources hosting. One is that it's often helps to customize the metadata, and which is the information that describes the OER. Another advantage is that it is more accessible, it creates more access points, and it is easily for you to find it through the search and through the content type, through the author name, and the rest. Hosted solutions are also institutions third party are also institutions that use third-party shared storage like Google Drive, GitHub to host their content for media formats such as videos, etc. So these hosting solutions have the advantages of being open, and many academic institutions have a shared storage solutions like this. So the referatory portals I mentioned, the referatories or portals and directories I mentioned earlier are where our focus would be on, not the academic one, because some academic portal, there are a lot of rules and a lot of rules of engagement we need to follow, etc. So moving on to the referatories, portals and directories. If you do not have like a technical support to host the content in-house, there are other ways where you can host it. Uh, a few repositories are Wikimedia Commons, which enables you to host images, videos, text without in line with the Creative Commons licenses. So our focus or the major example would be on Wikimedia Commons. There is also OER Commons. We'll share the link after the class, the link to this website, OER Commons, which is like a public digital library. uh, Open Humanity Press is an international open access publishing initiative in the humanities, specializing in critical and cultural theory. Melot is like a collection of consistent is a collection that consists of tens of thousands of discipline specific learning, and Pressbook is just like an open source authoring and publishing platform. So outsourcing your content also has some potential drawbacks. Oh, I forgot to mention YouTube. So you can share your open educational resources on YouTube as well. So as I was saying that outsourcing your content on all these uh, open open educational on all these referatories, sorry, or open on all these referatories and open educational content reservoirs, calling it that way, outsourcing your content has some potential drawbacks, which is that you will have to consider what will happen to your content if the repository should go away. So I'm referring to like, oh, if LibreText or goes out of fashion, or if they are unable to sustain their hosting services or unable to sustain their the services they over to, you have to consider what will happen to your text. So it is important you always have backups and probably host your open educational resources in multiple platforms. So you should also know that if you are hosting somewhere not under your control, it is something that you might need to consider and like have a local backup. So the best practices for contributing to Wikimedia Commons is you have to ensure your quality your quality upload, your quality, which is like you upload high quality media that meets the project scope and add useful description, categories, and tags. You have the correct license details, attribution information, and you ensure that you have the legal right to to contribute the files. I remember that Olubusola has already taught us about open licensing, so we don't need to go about the licenses again. But it is important that we do not violate any copyrights while we are uploading our open educational resources. So another thing I feel it is important is while we are discussing open educational resources now, we should we should have a clear picture about the hosting platform, whether they can inadvertently create a barrier to access. For example, the platform may need too much bandwidth, so the material is hard to discover. As a result, you might need to like consider offering a low bandwidth version for your OER So Wikimedia Commons does not really have this problem, but I would show you how to go around it. Another thing is you might need to create your open educational resources in a way that they are editable, that somebody that is going to use it will need to like be able to edit the source material without infringing on your copyright. So you might need to consider other technical formats that will enable you to to upload you upload your open educational resource properly. So what is metadata? Metadata is information that describes and gives context to a digital resource like an open educational resource so that others can easily find, use, understand, and cite it. So metadata can also be described as the key elements for repositories to represent and organize educational resources. The term refers to descriptive data about your open educational resource, such as the author, the title, the date it was created, the format, the license, etc. So there are no agreed metadata standards for open educational resources. Different repositories, which are the LibreText, Wikimedia Commons, they might have different metadata standards. So it is important to understand how they are, or how the metadata standard of this, or how will I put it, of this repository works, because like each repository is unique and you will likely use the metadata standard of hosting that platform. So no matter what like the hosting system they use, you have to be sure to fill in as much metadata as you can. It will improve like the discoverability of your resources, since most people use basic search engine to find open educational resources, and few people like use the advanced way to find it. I hope I'm making sense. So for metadata tagging, you must ensure that it meets. So I just added this content, like, so ensure the title is properly listed, the author name is properly listed, the date it was created is properly listed, the description is probably listed, or the tags, the license, and the format. So as I mentioned earlier, the importance of metadata is that it makes your resource easier to find in search engines and repository. It tells users how they can reuse your license, and it helps others organize. Sorry, excuse me. help others organize or archive it in their libraries or repository. It also ensures that your work is properly credited. So to market or to build your community for collaboration, it is imperative like you share drafts for peer feedback. You join online communities, mailing lists, forums where you can share these resources, and you host or join co-creation of workshops, and you build trust and reciprocity. And also, it is important to like market your project. Like you might need some marketing tools as a one-page flyer, except for announcing the publication of your work, or a notice to a list such as where they are on open repository software. If your organization, if your community where you work, if they have like a social media presence, you can share you can share your work there. So this moves us to the next slides of how to share your work on social media. You can use your school or library channels, you can present a workshop or webinars, and you can write about it in webinars, and you can write about it in newsletters and blogs. So I think we have to like, so I want to show some examples of open educational resources. So last year, Free Knowledge Africa. Oh, by the way, if you can see my screen, this is Wikimedia Commons. Sorry. So if you can see my screen, this is Wikimedia Commons. And we are going to be uploading an open educational resource. But before then, I want to like show importance. I know in my slide, I was showing why we have to attach the appropriate metadata to it. So I want to explain the importance of attaching the appropriate metadata, etc. So last year, Free Knowledge Africa compiled multiple stories from different authors in different parts of Africa, and we used it to form a book, a free book and open educational resource called Shades of Africa. So it's just about literature and stories from different part of Africa, focusing on I think festivals and yeah, festivals and cultural habits. So this book was published by Free Knowledge Africa, and this is if you search for Shades of Africa, to see the Shades of Africa, you see that the appropriate title has enabled it to be found easily on Wikimedia Commons. And if you search for it, like if you just click like this and you come to other media, it is easy to find the book. I hope the class is getting what I'm saying.
Please zoom in a bit. We are following, but I can hardly read what to do. Can you zoom in a bit?
Okay. I hope my voice is no longer cracking. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, the screen I can see, but it would be better if you zoom in a bit.
How about now? Is it better? I want
Slightly
to,
better.
I want to believe it is better now. So as I as I was saying earlier, all the metadata in line with the document, with the book, are listed here. The file information are here. The structured data, well, this is in line with Wikidata, so we don't need to put a focus on that. The summary of stories from a collection of short stories. The date was October 2024. The source is freeknowledgeafrica.org. The author is this. So the license is Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike 4.0. So you are free to share, copy, distribute, and transmit the work. You are free to remix, to adapt the work. So under the following conditions, which is you have to give appropriate attribution and you must share alike, meaning that if you remix, transform, or build upon the existing material, you must distribute your contributions under the same or compatible license as the original. So we can see the updated formats of the book. Another thing is in the book itself, it is clearly stated that this work is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike. So you might need, so that is for, and this is for individuals that get the physical hard copy of the book. So I'm seeing comments that I should zoom in. I want is it more preferable like this? Oh, individual guys are
It's okay now.
majority of people are joining in on their phones. So I guess that's why they can't see what I'm saying. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
okay.
it's better now.
So let me just go back to, so the caption, the description was stories from the Heart of Africa, a collection of stories on various African cultures and festivals. And this is like the description, which is like a collection of short stories on African cultures and festivals. And the date it was published, October 2024. The source is freeknowledgeafrica.org, and the author is Free Knowledge Africa. So I mentioned that the license is CC by SA, which correlates with the attribution share like 4.0, and I also mentioned that you are free to share, remix, you are free to share and remix the work under the condition that you give appropriate attribution and you share under similar license. So someone said my voice is cracking. Please let me know when next. So now I want to just, so the slide I created, this slide that I worked on, okay, before we do that, so we'll be having an homework, which is like integrate. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So we'll be given an assignment, which is like what I know some of us are creating open educational resources. The open educational resources we are creating, we should ensure that we integrate peer feedback. We should add the complete metadata. We should choose the license. We should publish on the appropriate appropriate platform we've chosen, and we should measure impact, value, and reach. So when you add your material to a repository or repository, you have to check to see the kind of usage and statistics or metric you can get. You have to understand, you have to find a way to determine the downloads, the shares, the views, and you have to understand that, these download shares views are like a good indicator to measure the impact of your open educational resource. So you have to ensure you measure your impact, you have to ensure you measure your impact, value, and reach. So an example is like where the book or this book, you have to understand where it has been used. So it has been used on Yoruba Wikipedia, which Wikimedia Commons enables us to see. So I don't know where the file has been used, but the file was used here. I'm wondering why the individual used this file there. Also on Hausa Wikipedia, also used here. So those are important ways of sharing open educational resources. So I'm going to go through like an upload session. I was mentioning earlier that the slides we created earlier, these slides, we would be uploading it on Wikimedia Commons shortly. So I want to, what's it called? I want to emphasize on copyright laws and ethical consideration. Please, while we are uploading our open educational resources on repositories or repositories, we should ensure we are not violating any we are not violating any license. We should ensure we are not plagiarizing. On platforms like Creative Commons, your documents will be deleted, or your open educational resource will be deleted. And we should also ensure we are giving the appropriate attribution. So uploading on Wikimedia Commons, there's a simple way through the upload wizard. It is called the upload wizard. I'm sure people can't see. Let me see if I can go to the mobile view so people can see on their phone now. Can we all see on our phones now? I think this should be better. So to upload on, sorry, to upload on Wikimedia Commons, we don't have this upload wizard here. Let me go back to the desktop view. So to upload on Wikimedia Commons, which is, you have to go to commons.wikimedia.org. So commons.wikimedia.org is the repository we are making use of today. And there's a special feature called the upload wizard. So you can click on this upload icon here. Then select the file you want to do. So I'll be selecting this file. So then we'll click on the continue all media. So here you are releasing the rights. So all media uploaded to Wikimedia Commons are free for anyone to use, share anywhere on the internet or off the internet. To ensure the work you upload is copyright free, please provide the following information. This work was created by me. Anyone is free to use it. So is this work entirely your own work? This work is entirely created by me. This work contains work of others. I generated this work using an artificial intelligence tool. So on Wikimedia Commons, there are other, if you create OERs or content through AI and you want to upload it, there's also a means for that. So what license do I want to publish this? What license do I want to publish this? I'll click Creative Commons 4.0 share alike. So this requires the person using this media to give appropriate credits and distribute under the same license. If it's just 4.0, if it's just CC BY, which is just 4.0, it requires the individual using this media to just give credit, but they don't have to distribute under the same license. But I want them to distribute under the same license. Also, you can release it. You can release it through CC0, which is that anyone is used to free this work. Anyone is free to use this work in any way they want. So CC0 is just like zero copyright. We are just referring to like the work is in the public domain. So I'm sure in the class Busola took, she mentioned that when works are released into the public or works enter into the public domain when the copyright has expired. So Creative Commons licenses also give us the opportunity to share work into the public domain with the expiration or with we releasing our copyrights. So I would be using the Creative Commons attribution share like 4.0 for the file we are sharing, and the title. So this is where you input some of the metadata. So the publishing, sharing, and promoting open educational resources. Can just describe, the caption can just be slides explaining how to share open educational resources. Open educational. So the date it was created or first published, we'll be selecting today's date. can add additional information and just educational resource. Okay, learning material works. So categories, we can put it. Let me check if there's a category for open educational resource. Okay. There's a category for open educational resource. We can use that. Can also Free Knowledge Africa also has a category we use to track the files our team members. Sorry. Free Knowledge Africa. So these are some of metadata we are choosing to add to this resource. Then you click if you have, so there are other informations you might want to include. You can add it in this text box. You want to indicate if it's like a picture, you might want to indicate the longitude, the latitude, the heading of the environment. Then after you've imputed all this content, you can click on the publish icon. So you can see the work has been uploaded and you can view it on so it is saying slides explaining how to share open educational resources. Date is 2nd August 2025. It is my work. I'm the author. So that is how to upload an open educational resource on a platform like Wikimedia Commons. So I believe the class has been enlightening. If you have any questions, please let's hear them. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Alafia. Thank you for the demo and the explanation. I really learned a lot myself, and I'm sure people on the call also learned a lot. So if you have any questions about how to share your work or anything you don't understand, please feel free to ask now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good evening. Yeah, I want to ask a question as regard the editing. You said something like, well, for whatever we post, that it should be open to edit. Is it that the document I post or the whatever file I posted, someone can access it and edit it without my own approval? What does it mean? Thank you.
That's the whole essence of open educational resource. That someone else can reuse your work. Do you get it?
No, I mean that, okay, let's say I open the file now. So my file, maybe there is an issue. Maybe I feel like, let's say I uploaded the file and maybe there should be a modification. Maybe the person can add a comment to it, or maybe the person is going to redo another file. Is it that
No.
it's my file that the person is going to work on again?
The edit I'm referring to is the person should be able to create his own new file.
Okay, I get. I thought the file I posted is what person is not going to work on.
Okay, I get it. Khadija, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. I appreciate all what you've been teaching us since morning. So my question is, all these platforms which we can post or where we can put our OER resources. So like the press book now, I tried using their platform and I was told I'm going to pay. So that they will be giving me, I think, a 3-day trial, then I'm going to pay after that. So I want to ask, is there a way to bypass it, or most of these platforms, are they free? So we'll know which one we are using to upload
The
our
platform
OER.
that is free, that is absolutely free that I'm aware of is what's it called? Is Wikimedia Commons. All other commons might have a fee or that attached. All other platforms might have a fee or that, a fee or some other opportunity cost attached to you sharing it. But I'm absolutely certain that Wikimedia Commons is free to use.
What if we want to put it in a public domain too? Are we going to pay?
No, you are not paying. You're not paying for that. On Wikimedia
Okay,
Commons, you're not paying for that.
common. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
I must also say that OER Commons is also free, so you can explore all of the options and see what works for you. So Pressbooks also has its advantage. So you just need to decide what works for you and if you are willing to pay. But then, like Alafia said, Wikimedia Commons is open, free, and available for everyone. So if there are no more questions, I would just like to say that it's been a wonderful
I do have
5
a question.
Okay, Geoffrey, go ahead.
Yes, good evening. My question is about what is the best way to track the usage? I am familiar with Wikimedia Commons. However, in the OER Commons and what, how can I get to know? How can I, at least as for institutional repositories, which might not be directly in correlation with this topic, I can see who downloaded and how many downloads have happened. But what is the easiest way to track the downloads in assessing the impact of how effective the OER has been? Thank you.
Alafia, do you want to take that?
I didn't hear the question clearly. My internet has been shaky.
You
Okay.
mentioned something about monitoring the usage of the OER, like knowing the impact. How many people have downloaded this item? How many people have used it? How many people have, let's say, if it is reading about it and using it in creating their own OERs? So my question would be, how can I best monitor how the usage of my OER, how many people have access?
I think if you use resources like Wikimedia Commons and you create an outreach dashboard for that, that would be there's not a big lesson. Let me see if I can. So if you can create an outreach dashboard for yourself, outreach dashboard for yourself, you will be able to like let me share my screen for a bit. So this is an outreach dashboard. So for that file you've created, you can just create an independent program, then then fill in the, I think, tracking your own contributions with simplified. I think this is what you would use. Then you probably indicate Wikimedia commons.wikimedia.org. Then from that you just name it, and I don't want to create something false. But do you understand what I'm saying? So what outreach dashboard helps you to do is that I want to show you an example. Is for like, these are events we've done in the past, and the dashboard enables us to see the articles created, the editors, and it even enables us to see the articles. Another way you can track your, what's it called, track your downloads and page reads is, I'm trying to remember the word, but let Isaac respond, then I'll search for it. I probably saved it somewhere and get back to you when Isaac is done.
All right. Thank you, Alafia. So yeah, you can use the Wikimedia dashboard, and if it's within the wiki ecosystem, there's the data, there's the usage data on the Commons page, but then there are some tools on, I think, X Labs on Wikimedia, in the Wikimedia ecosystem, that you can check out. So the analytics provided by each platform is dependent on them, and we can't easily control that. But for platforms like Pressbooks, that have that are paid, you definitely get good analytics. So it's just more like a cost kind of thing. So, but for Wikimedia Commons, yeah, Wikimedia X tools, you'll be able to see analytics about your work, how many people have opened it, downloaded it, and so many other things. So you can use page views to see, so you can explore these analytics tools provided by the Wikimedia ecosystem and see what you can do with it. But paid platforms will definitely have some analytics options embedded with the offering, and sometimes it's just best also reach out to the platform. I know Wikimedia Commons is a very massive platform, but for smaller ones like OER Commons, I'm not exactly sure of what they offer, but you'd have to confirm that. And thank you, Andikan Edrock, for dropping the link. Thank you.
So another thing you can use to track your page views is this page view tool by Wikimedia. This is for Wikipedia articles actually. So you can use this to track your contributions, and I'll post in the link and get post in the link for your page views, and we can move on from that. Thank you.
All right, Alafia. So thank you everyone for joining us, staying to the end, and please do respond to your quizzes. The reason we had to extend the capstone funding application to yesterday was because we discovered that a lot of people didn't apply, and people haven't completed their quizzes. So what we'll be doing is that we're going to be taking into account the number of classes you've attended and the number of quizzes you've responded to and what you've gotten on the quizzes, apart from even the quality of the ideas you've submitted. So please, if you've not yet submitted all your quizzes, please do try to submit, because we've started reviewing, and we would also be announcing the winners latest by Monday morning, when we share the recording and the quiz for week 5. And please, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out via email or on the WhatsApp group. And please do engage with us on social media. Do stay connected. Follow us on all the different platforms. We are everywhere on TikTok, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Please do connect with us. And if you like to join our community, please also do let us know. We have many more programs planned ahead, and we'll be computing all the results from the quizzes as well, and also be working on issuing the result and the certificate very soon as well. So everything will be sorted soon, and we'll update you with the latest developments. But thank you all for joining and for participating, and we sincerely hope that this training has been a big has helped you in one way or the other to understand how to use OER in your education provision and in your job as a teacher or as an educational professional. Thank you all so much. We'll also share an outcome survey to see what impact we've been able to make. And thank you all very much. We'll be in touch with you. Have a great rest of the weekend.